Syrup is sold in the post office. A car drives to market, full of fowls and a farmer. Milk churns stand at Coronation Corner like short, silver policemen. And sitting at the open window of Schooner House, blind Captain Cat hears all the mourning of the town.
Come on, Ricky, we'll be late.
Maggie Richards.
Wait a minute, I lost my compass.
Ricky Rees.
Humphrey.
Tommy Powell.
Turn now.
Our Sal.
Yes, it is.
Little getaway. Billy Swansea with the dog's wife. One of Mr. Waldo's.
It's our Sal's turn.
Nasty Humphrey. Jackie with the sniff. Where's Dickie's auntie and the boy from T-Pant? Or perhaps they got the rash again. Somebody's hit Maggie Richards. 2-1 is Billy Swansea. Never trust a boy, you bar. Right again. It's Billy.
And the children's voices cry away.
Oh, that's willy-nilly knocking at Bayview. Rat-tat-tat, very soft. The knocker's got a kid glove on. Who sent a letter to Mrs. Ogmore Pritchard? Careful now. She swabs the front glassy. Every step's like a bar of soap. Mind your size trousers. That old Bessie would beeswax the lawn to make the birds slip.
Morning, Mrs. Ogmore Pritchard.
Good morning, postman.
Here's a letter for you with stamped and addressed envelope enclosed, all the way from Bilf Wells. A gentleman wants to study birds. And can he have accommodation for 2 weeks and a bath vegetarian?
No.
You wouldn't know he was in the house, Mrs. Ogmore Pritchard. He'd be out in the mornings at the bang of dawn with his bag of breadcrumbs and his little telescope.
And come home at all hours covered with feathers? I don't want persons in my nice clean rooms breathing all over the chairs.
Cross my heart, he won't breathe.
And putting their feet on my carpets and sneezing on my china and sleeping in my sheets.
He only wants a single bed, Mrs. Ogmore Pritchard.
And back she goes to the kitchen to polish the potatoes. 3, 4, 5. That's Mrs. Rose Cottage. What's today? Today she gets the letter from her sister at Gorslas. How's the twins' teeth? He's stopping at schoolhouse.
Morning, Mrs. Pugh. Mrs. Ogmore Pritchard won't have a gentleman in from Bilf Wells because he'll sleep in her sheets. Mrs. Rose Cottage's sister and Gorslas's twins have got to have them out.
Give me the parcel.
It's for Mr. Pugh, Mrs. Pugh.
Never you mind. What's inside it?
A book called Lives of the Great Poisoners.
3, 4, 5, 8. Oh, that's Manchester House.
Morning, Mr. Edwards. Very small news. Mrs. Ogmore Pritchard won't have birds in the house, and Mr. Pugh's bought a book now on how to do in Mrs. Pugh.
Have you got a letter from her?
Miss Price loves you with all her heart. Smelling of lavender today. She's down to the last of the elderflower wine, but the quince jam's bearing up and she's knitting roses on the doilies. Last week she sold 3 jars of boiled sweets, pound of humbugs, half a box of jelly babies, and 6 coloured photos of Llyregydd. Yours forever, then 21 X's.
Oh, willy-nilly, she's a ruby. Here's my letter. Put it into her hands now.
Huh? Mr. Waldo hurrying to the Sailor's Arms. Pint of stout with the egg in it. Oh, there's a letter for him.
It's another paternity summons, Mr. Waldo.
The quick footsteps hurry on along the cobbles and up 3 steps to the Sailor's Arms.
Quick, Sinbad. Pint of stout and no egg in.
People are moving now up and down the cobbled street.
All the women are out this morning in the sun. You can tell it's spring. But there goes Mrs. Cherry. You can tell her by her trotters. Off she trots, new as a daisy.
Biggest flatfish you ever saw.
Who's that talking by the pump?
Oh, I get a good price now.
Mrs. Floyd and Boy are talking flatfish. What can you talk about flatfish?
I make a lot out of it.
Oh, that's Mrs. Piebread One, waltzing up the street like a jelly. Every time she shakes, it's slop, slop, slop. Who's that? Mrs. Butcher Bynum with a pet black cat. It follows her everywhere, meow and all. There goes Mrs. 23. Important. The sun gets up and goes down in her dewlap. When she shuts her eyes, it's night. High heels now. In the morning, too. Mrs. Rose Cottage's eldest, May, 17 and never been kissed. Oh, oh. Going young and milking under my window to the field with the nanny goats. She reminds me all the way. Can't hear what the women are gabbing around the pump. Same as ever. Who's having a baby? Who blacked whose eye? Seen Polly Garter giving her belly an airing? There should be a law. Seen Mrs. Bynum's new mauve jumper? It's her old grey jumper died. Who's dead? Who's dying? There's a lovely day. Oh, the cost of soap cakes. Morgan's at it early. You can tell it's spring. Hockey milkman on his round. I will say this, his milk's as fresh as the dew. Half dew it is. Snuffle on, Hockey, watering the town. Somebody's coming. Now the voices round the pump can see somebody coming. Hush, there's a hush. You can tell by the noise of the hush it's Polly Garter. Hello, Polly, who's there?
Me, love?
That's Polly Garter. Hello, Polly, my love. Can you hear the dumb goose hiss of the wives as they huddle and peck or flounce at a waddle away? Who cuddled you when? Which of their gandering hubbies moaned in Milkwood for your naughty mothering arms and body like a wardrobe, love? Scrub the floors of the welfare hall for the Mothers' Union social dance. Your one mother won't wriggle a roly-poly bum or pat her fat little buttery feet in that wedding-ringed holy tonight, though the waltzing breadwinners snatched from the cosy smoke of the sailors' arms will grizzle and mope. Oh, too late, cock. Too late.